Come on, let's keep a little optimism.
Subscribe, leave a voicemail, and share this show with a brother.
Chewie, get us out of here!
Time to abandon ship.
It's great to be in the Empire today.
Star Wars Escape Pod is the pod for you.
As the Republic's choice of podcast anywhere in the galaxy.
If you are tuning in right now, don't go anywhere. Leave a review and make it a good one.
Empire today. Empire today. I thought that was a pretty good take. Pray I don't alter my performance any further.
Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod. I'm your host, Josh, and welcome to 2026, where we have not only the first theatrical drop in the Star Wars saga in 6 years, but, or 7 years? I don't know, it's been a while. But we've got a bit of a casual chat happening tonight with our friends Blake and Darian, and possibly Kirk if he pops in. We'll see. It's pretty chill on Cantina Banter, and if anyone doesn't know what Cantina Banter is all about here on Star Wars Escape Pod, it's sort of a casual chill night to just sit down, relax, and go over some sort of more recent news and just Star Wars peripheral things, conversations. I don't know, things upcoming, things happening out there in the world, and you know, surprisingly enough, there's always something new to talk about. And one of the number one questions I always get when people find out that I run a Star Wars podcast is like, what do you talk about every week? And you know, people always go like, man, like I don't know. Then I go, well, hey, it's like a weekly, daily bread. You know, like there's always something new that comes out.
You know, 400 episodes in.
Yeah, 400 episodes in, and here we are still.
There'll be so much dead air.
That's right. Well, welcome back to you both. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you as well. Good to be here.
Happy New Year. Sakuragar to all of the people listening.
Yes. And we hope you all had a Happy New Year at home, and that you all enjoyed the year in review 2025 and look back at the last year. There was actually some cool stuff, you know, like, and I don't know if Sean or yourself ended up listening to it, but there was a request of hers to get one of those AI songs in the...
Oh, right.
And I ended up putting one in.
Oh, no.
So, at the very end. It was actually kind of funny. It was like right after you said like, oh yeah, we should do that. And then I just cut to one of the songs. It was a new one too. It wasn't an old one.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to do another episode where we...
It was called Hoth Bells. It was a play on Jingle Bells, but it was about Hoth.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that? Or did
Well, I came up with it, but I just came up with the prompt. Well. Yeah. That's I just generate like 2 or 3 times to get the right vibe, but it turned out all right.
That's not garbage.
Yeah, turned out okay. Cool. Well, just as a quick recap for anyone who hasn't been listening to Star Wars Escape Pod so far this year, not only did we have that 2025 year in review as of recently, that was episode 405, but we've done a few cool things in the recent past. This past year, we had the launch of this casual sub-series called Cantina Banter. We also had the Andor Season 2 after show. We had Celebration in Japan that we weren't actually at, but we analyzed from afar. And we had the launch of Star Wars Launchpad, which is the AI experiment podcast that nobody ever listens to. And I always find that kind of funny to say, but it's actually kind of cool. Like, you know, it takes like almost no time to put it out there, and the chat that gets generated with it's really good. Like, it always blows me away.
It does sound like news radio almost.
It does. It's very impressive. Yeah. We also had the Bucketheads Part 3 special guest behind the scenes back in January last year. That was a really cool episode. We had a few book reviews. We did some retro game reviews last year. We did Bounty Hunter. It was 2002 right. Bounty Hunter. We also had
how janky games were back in the day.
Yeah, but that's still the best generation of gamings, I feel.
There was a
the most
ton of
nostalgic.
good. Yeah, they were all good. You know, like any game that came out, it's like it was good. There was no like
Right.
bad games.
Do you think it was almost better when games had less polish, so they could just focus on just like making the content and not kind of overthink stuff?
I think that they spent more time on the storylines back then. Because if you look at Force Unleashed 2 and KOTOR 2, those were both rushed. They still turned out pretty good despite
true,
their short timelines.
Especially KOTOR 2.
Yeah. We had
So much of that got cut out.
oh yeah.
Cutting room floor mod. You ever used it?
No.
Well, I
it's
think
so
isn't
good.
there's
Puts
an
all the back in.
official like relaunch happening or maybe it has happened, but didn't they put that stuff in again like with the Aspire relaunch on Switch or something like that? I thought
I don't know about that. I've only played the PC.
Okay. Yeah, don't quote me on it, but I thought
And,
maybe they added some of that back
Original
in again.
Xbox.
Yeah, that's the copy I have is the Xbox, and
Yeah.
I don't believe they added anything to it, but it's been years since I played it. So
Yeah,
Not the
it's like the
original,
new relaunch, I guess. I don't know. It could be. I know there's a mod too, but yeah. Anyway, there was also a really great special guest we had last year, which was here on our list. By the way, if anyone wants to look back at all the episodes that we've done, definitely check out the Star Wars Archives link in the description because that's where we keep a database of just about everything that we have done in the past. And, it's great to always, find a link for those things, see what kind of subjects we did. Do you use it all that much? Probably not. No.
I don't think so.
Very uninvolved.
There's a new KOTOR game coming out, right?
KOTOR? Yeah.
I heard
The
something
remake.
about
The remake on PlayStation. Yeah.
I thought there was supposed to be like a new sequel.
well, there's that
like-
one they just did the teaser trailer for.
Fate.
Yeah.
Is it it's supposed to be a canon version though, right?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
And it's not an official sequel. It's like inspired by, but it's within the canon.
It has the original story director. or
Yeah, it's
something?
the original guy who did the KOTOR story. Yeah, directing this game too. But all right, sorry. Dr. Steve Ellerhoff was our special guest episode. Yeah,
That's
he
fun.
came on and talked about Young and Star Wars, a contemporary mythology. It was a book that he actually wrote. He's doing like a Zoom, what do you call it, webinar this month in January.
Cool. Yeah.
And I need to follow up with him and ask as to when that'll be. And that'll be really interesting as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We
And,
need to get him back on here again too.
Yeah, for sure. One other thing I want to mention as well is if anyone hasn't checked out Orbit Key's new Disney lineup, we love Orbit Key here, and
That's
they've sent
true.
us a lot of cool stuff. And
This isn't a Disney podcast.
this is a Star Wars Orbit Key desk mat, and I know they're not doing Star Wars stuff anymore, but I mean, I feel like some people who are interested in Star Wars are also interested in Disney. Like when we went to Star Wars Celebration,
Some level of overlap, I'm sure.
we saw a ton of people at Disney parks when we were at Celebration 2017. Like they also went to the parks after the celebration.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of overlap there. With
if you
interests.
traveled all the way there for the Star Wars Celebration,
Yeah.
you're gonna go to the Disney parks while you're there.
Yeah, it's like a cultural thing, right? Yeah, so I mean, there's some overlap there, and I mean, quite frankly, they're now under the same umbrella of the production companies and everything. So it's like okay, there's some mutual interest there. So definitely go and check that out. They've got Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, the classic characters. They got some Toy Story things. They've sent us some cool bag and a key organizer and a Donald Duck key loop. So that was kind of cool to take a look at. High quality stuff. So go and check that out. Link is in the description. Darian, you started a YouTube channel last year. How's that going? What are you up to with that?
It's been going pretty good so far. I'm going through a bunch of old Bucketheads archives of film that I did. They're not as structured as I'd like because I wasn't really putting a lot of effort in at that time. I thought it was going to be a collage, but didn't work out that way. So once I get through that, I will be posting more lightsaber centric content, but I'll do little bits of like toys and stuff that I buy and find interesting.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm taking a little break right now because I had some personal issues.
Right. We'll be back to it soon, and this year you'll at some point get some more
Probably in a
videos.
week or two, yeah.
Nice, awesome.
What is the channel name?
The Mandarian.
The Mandarian.
Check it out.
Yeah, the link will be in the description as usual. So yeah, go and check that out.
And if you're ever worried about how to spell it, it's the Mandalorian minus the L and the O.
Oh, there you go. Easy to remember. All right, yeah. So a little piece of news here, which I thought was kind of cool. Warwick Davis. We all love Warwick Davis around here. If anyone doesn't know who he is, you want to explain?
Warwick Davis?
Yeah.
The actor?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Willow.
Yeah, he's Willow. Yeah. Okay.
If you want
okay.
to see him his actual
Okay.
face,
Well,
Willow.
he's Wicket. He's Wicket. For the
He's
Star Wars
Wicket,
fans
yeah.
out there, he's Wicket.
He's also Professor. Which professor is he in Harry Potter?
He was the goblin.
Flitwick. He was also the goblin.
That's right, and he's a goblin as well.
He's a goblin. Yeah, he plays a few of the characters actually in Harry
He's
Potter.
also a fan of the pod race who laughs at Anakin when his
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And you know what's funny is that's the same character he reprised his role as in Solo, a Star Wars story.
It's the same character?
It's the same guy.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, he said that on the behind the scenes video. It's like it's intended to be the same character.
Just years later after laughing at Anakin.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, just years later, that's the same dude. I was like, that is unreal. Like, he's really, really poking for that action figure. You know what I mean?
I'd buy one.
But I'd buy one too. As reported by BBC, Warwick Davis, currently 55 years old, is set to be amongst the 1,157 set to become an Officer of the Order of the British Empire. Honor to commemorate the arrival of the new year for both his acting career and charity work. He issued the following statement about how much the honor means to him. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I've been in Star Wars. Is that all right? Is that a Warwick voice? It's close.
I'm gonna go with yes because I can't.
That's pretty close.
Okay.
Like
it's pretty close.
It's weird seeing that voice come out of you.
Warwick Davis made his acting debut in 1983's Return of the Jedi, playing Wicket the Ewok, and has been a pretty consistent career in the realm of science fiction and fantasy ever since. As part of the Star Wars franchise, he also played Weasel in The Phantom Menace and Solo. He voiced Rook on Rebels and briefly reprised the role of Wicket in The Rise of Skywalker, on top of other minor appearances and cameos throughout various projects. Outside of Star Wars, Davis has portrayed Willow Ufgood in the movie Willow and the show, the title antagonist of leprechaun horror comedy movies Grip Hook and Professor Flitwick in Harry Potter, the physical half of Marvin and paranoid android in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, who was voiced by the late Alan Rickman, his Harry Potter co-star. Beyond his career, Davis is being recognized for his work with the Little People UK charity, which benefits people who have dwarfism, and other names of note who are set to be given the OBE honors, along with knighthood and damehood, are in the near future. Idris Elba being one of them. So, congrats to Warwick Davis. He joins the likes of fellow Star Wars talent Ewan McGregor and composer John Williams, who were made honorary knights in 2024. So. Cool. Very cool. I'm happy for Warwick. He's seems like a really awesome guy. Anytime you see Warwick anywhere, it's just like, hey, he just like makes me smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's so cheerful and like.
I enjoyed seeing him at Celebration quite a lot because I think he did the opening and closing ceremony.
Yes, they're always really good about asking him to like host a panel, and he's such a great host, like on stage. So cheery. You know? Yeah, he's just so cheerful, and he really like gets the audience involved. And
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
And he has really good comedic timing as well.
He does. Yeah. And I love that he's a fan of Star Wars, you know, and he just loves that world. He loves that universe, and like, yeah.
Wait, so we have to refer to Wicket as Sir Wicket now?
Probably. Sir Wicket.
He is definitely infectiously happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Just wait until you see like Warwick Davis has legally changed his name to Wicket Davis. All right, a little bit piece of sad news. Growing up, I really enjoyed getting these magazines in my stocking. I don't know if you guys ever got these Star Wars Insider magazines in the stocking.
We just got the Lego magazines.
Rolling through the Shoppers Drug Mart. Okay, I got a few down there. So I've never gotten rid of any single one of these things because like there's always some cool like interviews in there. There's just like they're kind of historical in the sense where they like capture a bit of a Star Wars moment. Yeah, in time, you know. At first it was called something else. At first it was called the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine. And that began back, a while ago, back in the 80s, I think it was. Yeah, the official Star Wars magazine first launched under Insider moniker in 94, part of the evolution that began with the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine. The earliest of the incarnation of the idea began in 1978 with the start of the official Star Wars Fan Club. A newsletter in the membership kit was renamed Bantha Tracks after a contest in issue 2, and would mark its final edition in March of 1987 with issue number 35 covering the new Star Tours ride. But after more than 200 issues, Star Wars Insider will end its current run in 2026. The first glossy Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine debuted in the fall that same year, back in 1987, featuring 3PO and R2. The cover with the cake decorated with 10 candles to mark the 10th anniversary of A New Hope. And we're actually coming up to the 50th anniversary in 2 years, which is kind of nuts. So it's kind of sad that the magazine just didn't quite last up to that 50-year mark, but it is what it is.
When was it canceled?
It is being canceled as of issue number, let's see here. So the next issue, Star Wars issue number 237 for Insider will be the magazine's last with Titan magazines. And they say, as we fly off into the twin sunsets, Titan intends to go out in a blaze of glory, Cooper adds. The next issue, 235, will celebrate the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. That one has just hit newsstands as of December 9th last year in 2025. There will also be printings of the hardcover and trade paperback collections of short fiction that they produce throughout all these Insiders. So I don't know if you guys knew, but in almost every single Insider magazine since like for years now, they have published a lot of short stories. Like there's been like a lot.
Right.
And when the Disney canon changed, a lot of those short stories in the newer Insider magazines are also under the Disney banner. So like those
canon,
are also
right?
canon. Yeah. But they used to have like EU short stories, and some of them actually prelude or was it interlude, like or even conclude, like after
Postlude.
a book, postlude. Yeah, like epilogue, I guess is what I call it. Like
the correct term.
A book that was like kind of coming out that same month or like within a month or two. And I always thought that was kind of a neat thing. And they've also done the same for like short stories tying into video games over the years. And it's just a very like kind of got an underrated level of like recognition within the Star Wars fandom, I guess. And after so many issues, it's kind of sad to see it go away. But yeah,
it's probably just an issue of people don't buy paper magazines anymore.
I think so. But well, even if at that, but also no one's subscribing to them digitally either. And they're pricey. They're not
right.
cheap magazines. Like I think on a per month basis, if you don't subscribe and you're just buying them off the shelf at Shoppers Drug Mart, I think they were like around like 16.
That's pretty expensive. Yeah,
16 Canadian dollars. Yeah, something like that. Which is like okay, like you're like halfway to a book, you know,
paperback
at that
book,
point. Yeah. But yeah,
you
so
can get a paperback book for that.
Over the years, though, back issues will be available while supplies last. And over the years, a lot of these short stories have been sort of bound together. They've been extracted from the magazines. They've been bound together in these like more thick kind of print books. You can find them at like Indigo and bookstores and stuff like that. And they've like taken some of the interviews out from a lot of them, and they kind of scrapped the ads, and they've like compressed them all into like a bound. So they've done like a couple volumes. I think they've done like volume 1, 2, 3, 4. They've done like here's a special edition of everything for like Empire Strikes Back thing, or like the dark side or the light side, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
So they've done like
collections.
Yeah, collections. They've done like maybe like 8 to 10 collection books over the last 4 years, and so they're all like fairly newer.
Is that just the stories?
They do have a short story one as well. Yeah, okay. But like so that way, if anyone missed a lot of these magazines as time's gone by, you can still at least find these books, and like they'll kind of be a nice way to kind of hold the memory of that entire run of the magazines over the years. And I imagine when they stop printing the actual magazines, maybe the last one will be like a really special one, or like they'll do like one more volume that has kind of things that they missed, or like whatever, right? So
I'm surprised you don't own just the collection of just the stories.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but like I don't know, there is a lot to keep up with, and I don't really buy a lot of the literature anymore in print, just because it just got too much. Now I just read it all digitally.
Ago, we bought all.
Oh man, like 10 years ago, that entire Calyx shelf across full. And I ended up just selling a lot of it and returning a lot of it for store credit, and just because I was like, yeah, that's too much.
Unwieldy. Yeah.
Well, because like I would read it once, and it's like, okay, they print so much of it that I just like couldn't justify collecting the books anymore, because it was just much. Like I'm just gonna end up like Steve Sansweet. I'm just gonna have like Rancho Obi-Wan in my bedroom in my bookshelf. So
hey man, we could do Canadian Rancho Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean, we got some pretty harsh competition, but like, I mean, yeah, we could. But anyway, now I go for more key staple
It'd be
books.
Kenobi, but can like CAN.
That's so bad. I love it.
Kenobi. Oh man. But yeah, now I go for key staple books, like things that are more of like a piece of history, kind of remembering something. So like the Paul Duncan Star Wars Archives books were like the number one on my list. The year by year book is super cool. I love that thing. And then there's just the odd random thing here and there. I did pre-order the ILM 50th anniversary, I think it was, book that they just
That just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, it's been delayed by like a week or two, so I should be getting it within 2 weeks. But so there's the odd thing I'll buy. But this short story, like story stuff, I just get digitally now. So.
Fair.
Yeah, but really sad to see Titan magazines go out with Star Wars Insider. So be looking out for issue number 237.
At any point?
No, I was a farm kid, so by the time I finally saw one, I was like, no, just go buy a book.
Right. That's fair. Yeah, I feel like I kind of missed the magazine thing too.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, it almost feels like magazines are mostly there for like bombs in the checkout line.
I can't remember the last time I bought a magazine. I'm sure I've done it in the last 20 years, but I can't think of what it was.
This is the issue. We're part of the problem.
Josh is just...
He's got a stash over here.
You can check them out as we talk about...
Rebels. These are $16 a piece?
This is my...
Hundreds of dollars.
This is my first one right here. Star Wars Insider number... Which one is this? Number 88. This was printed back in 2006, and the cover of this one is a very special edition. It's like it's like special cover 2 out of 4, and it was it was an artist that did these artworks.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so sweet, yeah. And I think at one point you could buy this as like a print. So if anyone's out there looking up Star Wars Insider.
This was a better time looking at these magazines. Like, this is the window we had into actors'
Look
lives.
at this. If this is not like Star Wars heaven advertising,
so
like
vintage.
I used to look at, well, this is only 2006, dude. Like I used to look through this and drool over this page. I was like, man, look at all these cool Star Wars toys.
As
like,
of today, that's 20 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, you want to know the pricing for Empire Strikes Back FX Saber replica? $80.
Man, that was a lot back in the day.
That's US, but that's $80. $80 US.
Well, what year was that?
That was 2006.
I think our dollar was higher. What's this? Oh my Atlanta. There's worms coming out of that.
Oh jeez. Oh man.
Tauntaun, thank you.
Oh, ooh, gnarly. I love the back of this magazine. This is one of my favorite games ever. It was the Star Wars miniatures game. I have 3 shelves of it in my room here. Say what? Legion? That's that's Star Wars miniatures. That's like the 2006 Wizards of the Coast. Like you bought like a little booster pack and you got like 7 guys, and it was awesome. No, so not Legion. Legion's actually quite new, but this is 2006. This is like old school, man. This is when I was like, this is Star Wars prime time for me right here. There's some interviews with like Ray Park in this issue. They got some advertisements for, like, look at this. I love seeing like those old Lego sets that we always used to love, and then
they're like way out of my price
range. And they like talk about it in here. Bantha Tracks, there you go. Yeah, Bantha Tracks was like for the fans in there. There's always a Bantha Tracks in every magazine, and yeah, there was a Bantha Tracks in here too. They were doing some fan art or something like that.
Do they always come single file?
yeah, they do actually.
One by one. Of magazines that Josh owns.
Yeah, just some of the articles in here are just really, really great, and I absolutely loved them. Look at this. Look at these these Star Wars checks that you could get back in 2005 if you're with the U.S.
You get
Bank.
a checkbook?
I think it was for the specifically for like maybe it was like Chase Bank or something like that.
You could like set your address to Tatooine or something.
Yeah, like I still have a cutaway in this. I haven't mailed away for this yet. I wonder if they'll still take it.
They'll still send it to you.
Yeah, exactly. I want my thing.
I recently saw one of my friends has a sticker that he bought off Temu. That's the Imperial credit that goes over his credit card.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty amusing. It's like, oh, I want to buy that.
Like 98 cents, right? Like Temu?
Probably. And then $15 in shipping.
No, shipping's free through Temu.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think.
So, like, there's an advertisement in here for the widescreen limited edition DVD releases of Star Wars A New Hope, which I don't know if you guys remember those. Those were very controversial at the time. But yeah, there's like all new 2-disc DVD sets of Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, will enjoy a limited release on September 12th, marking the first time that each film will be available individually, not in a set, and attractively priced. Best of all, because fans demanded it, the sets will include a special bonus material and original versions of all 3 films as they appeared on screen in 1977, 1980, and 1983. No enhancements, no remastering, and no Episode 4 A New Hope on the opening crawl. Star Wars, just the original versions as you or your older relatives first saw them in theaters. Ewok song and all, straight from the Lucasfilm archives and packaged it by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. Over the years, a truly countless number of fans have told us that they would love to see and own original versions that they remember experiencing in theaters, said Jim Ward, Senior Vice President of Lucasfilm Limited and President of LucasArts. We returned to Lucasfilm Archives to search exhaustively for source material that could be presented on DVD. This is something that we're very excited to be able to give fans in response for their continuing enthusiasm for Star Wars, topping it off with a new interactive adventure. Makes September 12th a red letter day for Star Wars fans, and they included a what do you call it, like a PC CD-ROM interactive feature where you could pop it in your PC and it would play a demo for Lego Star Wars 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember getting that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, people say like, oh man, I wish I could see the original Star Wars for the, like, you know, the 77 edition, you know, like from the theater. It's like, man, it's like, it's nothing special. Like, it's got grain, it's got green,
People are gonna stop listening.
It's got like no kind of nice enhancements for your flat screen TV. Like, we're talking like this is a 1977.
The viewer count dropping.
Pardon the blasphemy, folks.
I mean, okay, like the movie's amazing, but like that version, it's not clean. It's not a cleaned up, nice looking version that you would expect from.
That's part of what makes it better.
That's what. I think that's part of the reason why people are enamored by watching it. But I've had a disc sit in my garage for this DVD. I own these DVD versions. I never use them. They're just like, man, I'd rather watch the nice Blu-ray copy with A New Hope on the crawl. That's where I'm at.
Twitch, every time you see Han Solo's head lurch to the side,
that doesn't bother me whatsoever. He just moves like that, man. He's just got those kind of reflexes.
No, see, there's something called character growth. Han Solo shooting first was character growth. You know, he started out as, oh, you kind of threatened me, bang, dead, and then he builds and he becomes a better person.
That's true. Instead, he became a groovy dancer.
Yeah.
We had to give it all up to help the rebels.
Oh man. Anyway, Star Wars Insider, everybody. Look for those issues, look for those copies, and find yourself some of those collectible volumes out there. They're great.
I do love the graphic layouts on these. Like some of these,
they're very beautifully arranged.
I know, but I've been making some very similar, like even the blue backgrounds and everything.
Oh, do you want to borrow
this?
reference?
And it's like I could just scan this instead of spending hours in photos.
Yeah. I got a piece of news to share with you guys. I know this is kind of old news. This came out April 19th, 2022, but this was on StarWars.com as a bit of a announcement, really. Amy Hennig and Skydance New Media creating a new Star Wars game. This hasn't been talked about for quite some time. The new Star Wars games that we heard about during the Game Awards, that was Galactic Racer and Fate of the Old Republic. We've already talked about those. But and then we also have Zero Company coming out this year, which is kind of like an XCOM 2 sort of idea. But this game by Skydance New Media, this is a game that's supposed to be AAA experience action adventure gaming. We're talking like Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Outlaws type of gameplay. And nothing's been said about this game since it was announced in 2022. So do either of you do you remember this announcement or like anything about it that, maybe we're hoping to hear more about it this year? You guys are like, what? Like this was a thing? Yeah. So this was a thing. Maybe
that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a name. It just says Skydance New Media announced in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games to develop and produce a narrative-driven action-adventure game featuring an original story in the Star Wars galaxy.
Was this the Ragtag team?
I have no idea.
I feel like we've all become so jaded with
this is the Amy Hennig is the director of the Uncharted game.
Oh, I do remember. Okay, I remember hearing this years.
Jack and Daxter, Legacy of Kain.
I thought that game got shelved, and then eventually this before we got Jedi Fallen Order.
No, this was after Fallen Order came out, but it was before Survivor. But yeah, this announcement happened in 2022, this is the second significant project announced for the game studio, which was formed by Hennig and a veteran producer, Gillian Beek, to pioneer a new category of narrative-driven interactive entertainment. In late 2021, the studio announced a partnership with Marvel Entertainment to craft an all-new game with an original story and their unique take for beloved Marvel characters. We couldn't be happier to be working with Lucasfilm Games, said Beek, Executive Vice President and GM, Skydance New Media. We look forward to taking fans on an epic journey with this Star Wars adventure like title. So I mean, like I'm still very eager to learn more about this. I think from what we've gathered, especially with playing through Detroit and Beyond Two Souls, like a studio like Quantic Dream takes them years, to make a game, and the announcement tends to go out very early on.
Is that normal for games now? Do they
It
take
seems
much
like
longer?
It seems like it's just a pattern. It's like they'll announce it, people forget about it, and then like 5-6 years later, it's like boom, there's the game.
They've been talking about BioShock 4 for like 3 years, and they haven't even cast people for it yet.
Yeah.
Purgatory.
Yep.
I feel like it used to be like 2 to 3 year turnarounds. Like the original Halo game. Okay, that's a bad example because they had to make it twice because the data center crashed. Between like Halo 2 and Halo 3, though, I think it was like 3 years.
I believe they started making Halo 3 right at the tail end of making Halo 2.
Yeah.
So, everything's so much more advanced now that
There was like a year between KOTOR and KOTOR 2.
yeah, but that was because they had like 3 months to write the game.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, they did a great job for having that short amount of time, but
yeah, and I assume that they used like the majority of the engine from the first.
Yeah, it was the
game,
same engine. Yeah, so they could recycle a lot of stuff.
I remember it had more bugs, but
yeah, because it was very rushed, and they were very ambitious with how much they wanted to put in. So a lot of it got cut out and made the story kind of janky. That's what I was telling you about the cutting room floor mod.
I always love how it's like Star Wars game conversation comes up. It always circles back to KOTOR.
It's like the pinnacle of Star Wars gaming storytelling.
Oh man!
But in the fandom, I mean, that was such a pivotal moment.
Oh,
that really changed the way the fandom functioned. It went from everything's about the core 3 to all of a sudden this can be yours. You can do your thing in the fandom. It was such a great time. And then we got Clone Commando, which like nothing has even come close to being that amazing.
Yeah, no, we need more. We need more Star Wars shooters out there. Like it's kind of too bad that
story driven
shooters. I mean, like I hate to say it like this, but we need more Star Wars Call of Duties, if you know what I mean.
Basically.
Like, that hurts so much.
I know, but like that's because Call of Duty has a reputation, but at the same time, like Republic Commando is kind of like that, where it's like it was a single player campaign. It had a multiplayer mode, which was probably not widely used and kind of jank, but it had it, and it was just really, really good. You know,
I still hate those B2 battle droids, though, man.
Oh man, they're tough.
They're awful.
Tough to
They
kill.
were meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was a challenging game. It was good. Like it was Tamara Morrison voiced, the boss.
Oh, there's a KOTOR reference. Was it Fixer was the voice of one of the characters from the original KOTOR?
Oh, cool.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So
cool.
when you first land on that planet that you're stuck on with the Sith, the first guy that walks around with you, that's the same voice actor.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
He doesn't even hide his voice difference at all. He's the one that
Karth?
Yeah, I think so.
From the first game?
God,
What are you
I'm
talking
bad
about? Or is it
with names.
Atten from the second one?
No, it was the first game.
It was Karth then, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a solid game. I mean, Republic Commando left. That was the game that was like your KOTOR. Like that was the game for me that was like, whoa. Like it was also my introduction to shooters. And because I didn't really play shooters at the time. And I just remember thinking like, this is unreal. Like, and I hadn't yet played Battlefront, I don't think. But Battlefront is third person. It's not first. So I mean, you can play first person, but it's like it's better in third person.
No, it's not. That's blasphemy.
Battlefront is not most shooters, but Battlefront I like better in third person. You play in third person?
I don't even remember. I probably played both.
Okay.
The original Battlefront, I played third person.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The 2006 version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was third person. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Did you play? You played in first
I
person?
played Battlefield 1942, and that was like 2001, I want to say.
Yeah.
And that was first person, yeah.
Well, there's shooters like first. I mean, like GoldenEye was first person. Like it's
Halo.
Yeah, Halo. I mean, there's older games that are first person, but that was like my introduction to like the first person. Like there was no option of third person. Whereas like Battlefront and Battlefront 2, like it defaults you to third person, but you can force it in first person. But you just kind of like, you know, I just rolled with the default on that game. But yeah, Republic Commandos, like this is a first person game. You're in the visor, you're in the helmet.
Yeah, that part was cool.
There's a narrative experience for being first person, right? Like, yeah, it's not just about seeing down the barrel of the gun. It's like you got your stats up there, you got the little, you know, like the just like little.
Honestly, it was a lot like Halo.
Yeah, like there was like a immersiveness to being in the suit, you know, and I was like, this is cool. Like this is like another level of game that I hadn't yet experienced at that point, because most of my gaming at that point was like on Game Boy Advance, and I was like, this is insane.
Never made anything else. I do wonder if they didn't want to go back to the Clone Wars era, and they don't know if people want to play as rebels, but they don't want people to play as the Empire, so then they just feel stuck.
I believe they were halfway through pre-production on Imperial Commando.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a sequel game, and then like many Star Wars games, it just got canceled. But it was a success in the way of Karen Travis's novel series was the successor of that.
Right, yeah. And then eventually there was an Imperial book, right?
Yeah, it was called Imperial Commando 501st.
Yeah.
And it was the finale to the series. And I read all of them, and it was a great series. There was only like
dropping off pretty quickly.
The second one was bad. The second one I did not like. But then after the second one, it got better. And it was just kind of ironic because the second one is the one that featured more of Delta Squad from the game, because that was where like the game kind of crossed over with the books, because the books focused on Omega Squad, which was a different squad than when you plays the game. But Delta Squad was you know, that's Boss, Fixer, and Scorch and Sev, and that's the events of the second book, I believe, crossover with the game, because the game, if you remember, is like it spans a lot of the Clone Wars time.
It's funny, you could always tell where somebody was in that book by how they talked about it. Like when people would first buy the Clone Commando book, they'd be so upset. They're like, "What are these other commandos? I want to hear about Delta Squad."
Right? Yeah.
And then they'd slowly just kind of like chew their own words, and they'd be like, "Durman's kind of cool." And
Yeah.
As they get towards the end of the book, they're just like, "Man, this is so much better. I hope they make another game about these guys."
Yeah, I just remember thinking like, I just love the idea of an elite clone. Like I mean, it's not that I'm necessarily like personally attached to like Delta Squad, but it was like that. I found it ironic that I didn't like the second book, even though that's the one that kind of crosses over more with Delta Squad, but because I love the game so much. But yeah, I think I just like the idea of like the Republic Commando in general. So when Gregor became a thing in the 3D animated show.
Right. That was the first canonization.
Yeah. That was after the book series was over, but with the 501st, but before the Disney buyout.
It was before the Disney buyout.
Yeah. But to George Lucas, whatever he does was always canon to him. So technically Gregor is the first clone commando that had George's like
stamp.
I think you're wrong.
There was no commando in
Savage Opress kills those Jedi. You see
that was
Delta
after.
Squad. Was it after?
Yeah, that was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, they show up in the background, right? Like deliver the news or whatever.
Yeah, that was Delta Squad. Oh, and Delta Squad showed up when they deliver. Yeah, when they deliver the news on Camino that Savage Opress killed a bunch of people on that planet. Yeah, that was. You're right. That was after though, I think.
That was season 3 because Savage is season 3.
Maybe that was later. Oh, maybe that
Void was season 4.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe Gregor was after.
It's been years since I watched the Clone Wars, which I know is blasphemy. But
you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe Gregor was later. Anyway, it was a cool cameo. But like when they featured Gregor as like a main character, you know, like that was like sick. You know, because I was like, oh man, this is it. You know, like this is where we're getting like proper stories with all
the ARC fans really got to suck it because. You got to finally see what a commando can do by himself.
Yeah,
exactly. Not just rely on the squad.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
There's always that like, oh, I'm an ARC commando. Or,
right, the ARC troopers.
Yeah. The fans where they're like, oh, they're so much better in commando. It's like, no, they're not.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that was a big thing in the books, right? There's always that like tension between them.
Exactly, yeah.
I will say I do prefer the old ARC troopers in the Commando storyline from the EU. I don't like the canonized ARC troopers.
Yeah, the ARC troopers were very different portrayed in the EU compared to they are in the canon. Yeah, very different portrayal because the ARC troopers are kind of in the EU. They're made to be like a
extra enhanced,
like
the alpha clones.
Yes, yeah, like almost based on like the Gandhi Tartakovsky.
That's where they're from, actually. Yeah,
right.
Exactly what they're from.
Yeah.
But what was them became Bad Batch.
Right, yeah. And with like the special abilities and...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in the end, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I still like the original K better.
What was the original guy that with Anakin, the blue ARC trooper? Alpha?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Remember their names?
I don't remember them. I don't remember
I have that comic somewhere. It was really good.
like the classic Dark Horse Clone Wars comic. Yeah. I never actually
read that. That sounds
didn't really read those. Yeah, that went on for a while until the 3D Clone Wars kind of took over the narrative a bit more, and they started to change the tone, I guess, of like what this time period was like. Because like the Dark Disciple book, essentially, like when they did that adaptation of the Clone Wars 8-episode arc that would have happened in the canceled season. Like that was just a retelling of the Quinlan Voss like story, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just different for sure. But there's a difference between like the George Lucas kind of narrative and then the EU narrative. Right, okay. You know, yeah. I know that you have not finished The Acolyte just yet, but Darian, you finished The Acolyte, right?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So there was an art book that launched a little while ago. People were speculating about this for some time, but the art book kind of confirmed it. And this was an art of The Acolyte, the show. And the book essentially confirmed that the stranger is the OG Knight of Ren in the art book. That was what they confirmed, and that's why his helmet has a certain shape to it. And I just thought to myself,
did people think he was Plagueis? Something like that.
No, Plagueis shows up in the show, but he's not Plagueis. No, like, but yeah, there was some theories about that, and I remember thinking like that's an interesting theory. I don't know how much I buy it, but like it's an interesting theory to think that the Knights of Ren goes back as like a group that far, and like that they're kind of in the galaxy during this time.
Isn't there a canonized version of the Ben Solo comic?
There is a Ben Solo comic that brings the Knights of Ren into the fold, and he becomes the new leader of the Knights of Ren in that story.
And the previous leader was just some like anarchist.
Yeah. He was wielding a lightsaber. He didn't have any powers.
Yeah. Just like causing chaos.
Yeah, and it's not that he was weak or anything, but like Ben Solo bested him in a battle and just destroyed him. And the other Knights of Ren essentially now like they have to follow Ben Solo.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about?
I mean, I guess I would see it as a positive, just because it felt like they kind of came out of nowhere. Nice to give them a little bit more of an origin.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that it goes that far back because that's like 150 years. I want to say
it was 100 years before Phantom Menace. Yeah. So yeah, to Rise of Skywalker, yeah, like maybe a bit more even.
Because I guess what we saw them, they were
70?
kind of just like a biker gang, I guess almost.
Yeah, kind of. They were kind of they're kind of wasted on screen, to be honest. Like I mean, like there was literal shots of them just standing around looking awesome. That was it.
Yeah, pretty much.
In episode 9,
they were just there for toys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they were just there for
toys.
Yeah,
there for toys.
There was like shots of them on the cliff with the camera was like doing that, you know, like 180 degree kind of like circular pan, and they're just standing there like put the axe on the shoulder and just like kind of looking around.
Is that any different than when they're fighting?
When they fighting, they kind of fight like they kind of fight kind of bad. But like I mean, when they are fighting, that's just at the very end, and they all go down like flies. Like Ben Solo just bests them all so fast. I was like, what's the point of these guys? They're supposed to be awesome. Like that should have been like a feature duel. You know, like the duel with him and Rey in episode 8. That would have been a great opportunity
for them to show up.
Or like them be the Knights of Ren in that room instead of the Praetorian Guard. I mean, Praetorian Guards are awesome, but like,
cool. Like
it would have been a good story opportunity, you know, like to bring them in And like this is the moment where maybe he like takes them down or something like that because he helped Rey, and they're like, oh, he's like giving up his Knights of Ren ideals, and now we're like, I don't know, because they don't necessarily work for Snoke, the Knights of Ren. Like they work as a group, and the leader of the Knights of Ren is who they follow. So if the leader of the Knights of Ren gives up their whatever code or principles that they have, that's when they turn on him against him, right? And
does that not feel like a gang?
So like. Yeah, and by an extension of working for Ben Solo, who works for Snoke, that's why I think they're on Exegol, because they're also kind of working for... This is more
confusing than trade negotiations.
Yeah. Give me a break, guys. I mean, Phantom Menace, that's where it's at. But yeah, I mean, I think Knights of Ren were kind of wasted.
Agreed.
And I think the comic really brings a lot of the juice back, but still, it's like I would have loved to have seen it on screen.
It kind of seems like they did the Inquisitor treatment with the Knights of Ren, where it's like these are not really the powerful everything, but they set them up where you had these really high expectations for them.
Right.
And it's like maybe if you'd talked about them more like the Inquisitors, people wouldn't have been upset by that.
They're more just like henchmen.
Yeah. Yeah, like they have force powers, they've got lightsabers, but they're a Padawan Sith, essentially.
Yeah,
that would have made sense.
It was a cool idea. Like I like the fact that there was this kind of wacko Sithy kind of Darksider group that just, I don't know what they do, but they're just they follow the Knight of Ren, and his whole thing is like he wields the lightsaber, the red blade, and you know, it's like unless somebody challenges him and bests him, like they're kind of loyal to whoever the leader is, and they have their own like inner culture there. And if one of them decides, hey, I'm going to try and take out our leader and become the new leader, like maybe they can do that, right? Like there's some kind of interestingness there, but that's why I thought maybe they would be really, really good in battle, because they're all kind of capable of that, you know, like because
their rank is determined how strong they are.
Right. Yeah. It would be like picture like Rule of Two, but kind of a group of 8.
Rule of 8,
or something, or you know, and they're all following the guy who's the best, right? And if the guy that's the best is Ben Solo, like they all must be pretty damn good. But
kind of like a pack of wolves, I guess, the way we're talking about it.
Yeah. And then they end up sucking. Like it's like only one of them just gets tossed into a shredder.
Wasn't that the guard?
Oh, maybe that was a Praetorian guard. Oh, one of them gets tossed down a hole, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was a Praetorian guard, man.
I thought that was okay. Does that happen both times then?
I only saw,
or does he just slice through them all?
I only saw the last movie in theater. That was the last time I saw it.
Oh man. Okay, I gotta rewatch it again. I've only seen it twice.
The main thing I remember is Ben Solo is unarmed, and then he just magicals a lightsaber from Rey, and then and then he does that awkward shrug.
Yeah,
they're like, what?
Well, it was his dad's shrug, right? At the end of Return of the Jedi.
Oh, right. That's true.
Right.
They seen it in so many things that Han Solo did as like, oh, look, Ben does this. He's just like his dad.
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that at all.
Most people didn't.
Yeah, there was, that's what that was all about. But it was like, wow. Like, I don't know. And like, especially after you see him like with the mask on and like he's Kylo Ren and he's just like this kind of instant, and he has that really emotional moment, but then all of a sudden it's like, now he's a good guy, you know?
Right.
It was really fast, at least for me to digest. The movie felt like it could have been another hour long. Like I would have been okay with that. I genuinely would have been okay with that. If it meant, yeah, and it's like if it means that you can make the best movie that you can make, why not? You know, like every Avatar movie, it brings in $2 billion. They're all 3 hours long. Infinity War, super long movie. That's like just short of 3 hours. Endgame, 3 hour long movie, you know? And it's like, I don't understand why they went 2 hours on, it's not even the longest Star Wars movie. Episode 8 is still the longest Star Wars movie.
It's only 2.5, right? Or just over?
Well, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, again, it's like a wasted opportunity. And I know budget really plays into a lot of these things. And they had probably scrapped some of their budget on that previous script, which was the Colin Trevorrow script for episode 9. So I know that there is like, I know it's not limitless, and that they were probably expecting even a smaller box office, because that's just how it goes. You know, it's first one comes out, second one doesn't do as well, third one does the worst, right?
Yeah.
So
except for Endgame,
there's a lot going on there. Yeah, except for Marvel, right? But There's a lot going on there to consider, but at the same time, I'm like, why not? Why not just throw everything at the wall? It's the last one. Like, what do you got to lose other than $100 million? I don't know. I feel like I would have sat there for another hour happily.
I want to know what it is, but if it would make me enjoy the movie more, then for sure.
Like, okay, did you enjoy
hard to know.
the beginning of the film? Did you guys enjoy the beginning of the film? It's like
9?
within 12 within 10 minutes, he is ripped through that whole group on Mustafar, which we don't even realize is Mustafar. He gets the device from that little pedestal thing, which is the Wayfinder device.
Yeah.
And then you just see him in his ship, using this thing in his ship, navigating through that red nebula, gets to Exegol, runs into Palpatine, has a conversation with Palpatine, and all that happens in the span of like 10 minutes.
It's very music video-y, and I like that they didn't beat us over the head with exposition. That really was a good way to get a lot of information to us. But I feel like the Exegol part was rushed a little too much.
Yeah, I felt like it was like, man, this could have been like 20 minutes longer in a way, like just to kind of get us to that point of like leading up to Palpatine.
Let it breathe more. To be honest, most of my issues with modern movies is they're too rushed.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not enough time for stuff to breathe.
And like, not to mention that the Palpatine's broadcast to the galaxy about him being back was not even in the movie. This was a recording. They launched it on Fortnite.
Yeah, it was on Fortnite.
Of all places. And it's like, are you kidding me? You have to play Fortnite to listen to Palpatine's message that was extremely contextual for the film. And then when you watch the movie, it's like, somehow Palpatine returned. It's like, that's what we get in the movie? Like, are you kidding me? Like, not the awesome thing from Ian McDermott, who's the one guy I actually want to hear a line from. Like, I was like, oh man, like there was a lot of choices there that it's questionable. And I wonder if the movie was like an hour longer. It's like, yeah, maybe you could have put that in the movie, like if it was an hour longer. But
I don't blame them for that, because on paper that did seem like a knock it out of the park idea.
Yeah,
but the execution
Bring Palpatine
was
back, you mean? Or
like seeding it into a video game and you know, doing Easter eggs for the fans that were really big, that weren't just something you're going to rehash later.
Okay,
great concept. I've always loved that Star Wars has done that, and Star Wars has always found interesting new ways to give us Easter eggs like that. Unfortunately, what was in the movie was so terrible that that thing that you got to see if you happened to be there, and I wasn't, it meant something special. But because what was in the movie was so terrible, it was just like, oh, that's something that you're beating me over the head with now.
So it basically, both things need to be able to stand on their own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if your teaser is the thing that actually excites people and makes them happy and stuff, and then the actual product is a lemon, it's like, okay, you promised a lot and you gave us nothing.
Right. It's also, I feel like it needs to be kept in mind that 10 years down the road, people aren't going to be watching the teaser. They're going to just watch the movie.
Yes.
So they're going to lose all that context.
You do need to self-explain. It's like when they did the Firefly movie. You get to reintroduce
Serenity?
Yeah. You get reintroduced to everyone in the characters. You find out who they are pretty instantaneously. Yeah. So that way, if you didn't watch the show, you can still watch the movie. You kind of need to do that with storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a single Star Wars fan out there that's like 100% in with the sequels, but like, I'm very strongly, like, I know the movie would still, even if it was an hour longer, still would have never even cracked my favorite top 5, you know what I mean? Or top 6. but at the same time, I feel like it could have just been a better movie if it was an hour longer. And they advertised it as like, this is the final Skywalker saga chapter. Like, they had the marketing for it. And then you went in, it's like, that was over so fast. Like, what the heck? And especially the end of the movie, it's just like boom, boom, boom. Everyone's happy. Everyone's celebrating. Chewbacca gets a medal for some random reason. And then like, that's that.
Rey changes her last name.
Rey changes her last name. Like, she buries the sabers. She has a new one, but it's crappier. Sorry, scrappier. Yeah.
It's yellow though, but it's not double bladed.
Yeah.
That's such a missed opportunity.
It should have been, it should have been a staff saber. Like,
from the beginning, she uses her like bow staff.
Yeah.
It just made sense. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not jaded. Yeah. So, I don't know. What else? What else is new? You guys looking forward to the rumor of a Total War Star Wars game? You ever played Total War?
What is Total War?
I don't know. It's
yes. Let me deep dive into that.
It's a strategy game. So here's
an
the rumor. Here's the rumor. Creative Assembly confirmed. Okay, I guess I don't know if it's a rumor then. They confirmed that a new Total War game will be revealed at the Game Awards. Guess that didn't happen. Jokes on us. And the last few months celebrating 25 years of Total War, a massive milestone for the iconic strategy series. To cap it all off, the developer hosted a 25th anniversary showcase on December 4th, which it used to unveil the new game engine, a suite of new content for Total War Warhammer 3, and the reveal of Total War Medieval 3. But it would appear that the studio has more to share in the near future. Alongside its work on Medieval 3 and Warhammer 3, Creative Assembly has confirmed that it has a Total War game in development, and it's going to be revealed at the Game Awards December 11th. I don't think we actually got word of this, so maybe that announcement was delayed, or maybe I just didn't pay attention to it. But there was the rumor that this was going to be a Star Wars game, and I don't know if people were maybe hearing rumors of new Star Wars games being announced at the Game Awards, and then hearing the Total War announcement, going like, oh, maybe there's like a connection there.
It's like it would basically be a Galaxy of War or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe, yeah, something like, or maybe like it. What's that other one? Empire at War.
Yeah,
sorry, Empire at War. So I think maybe people were hoping for that. I'm not aware of any announced, confirmed, non-rumored pieces of news that relate to that. But I mean,
it's been a long time since they've made a game like that, and those games.
Yeah, you
and I and some other people on this podcast actually get together and play that occasionally.
Oh, like man, it's been years since we have, but yeah, it was fun when it was like basically Age of Empires 2.5
game, man.
It feels recent to me.
Yeah, what's it called? Galactic Battlegrounds.
That's it.
Yeah, Galactic Battlegrounds. Yeah,
I love those games so much. Dude, like, that is my favorite gaming outside of first person.
It crashes every single time. Every time we play it, we get to like I don't know, 60 units per person, and then all of a sudden like server dies. Like it's just like okay, yeah. So it was a bit frustrating. That's probably why we stopped. But
it was so fun because you play as like Gungans and stuff.
Yeah. It was good. It was.
You're just there to cause chaos. You don't want to win. Yeah. The Gungans, it's like, no, I just want to make it difficult.
Running around with 50 guns.
Yeah, you know, like desert planet and you play as the Gungans.
Yeah, it's great.
No water.
But yeah, it was a cool game. I love the idea of it. I don't know if it's still happening or if it's even just like wrong speculation in terms of rumors, maybe inaccurate rumors. But I don't know. I mean, I do love the idea of like another game like that coming, like a more modern game. I mean, I was just playing Age of Empires 4 today with a friend, and it's a game that I play frequently, but it's great. Like I love I suck at it, but it's like I love the base building.
Yeah,
you know, I love doing like PV versus computer.
Yeah, that's always my preference to team up with your friends and try to fight.
Yeah, and like I've got friends that are better than me, so like they just kind of take the brunt of the oncoming damage, and I'll just like farm resources. And just kind of. Yeah, it's good. It's a good game.
I know Bryce often does that for us.
Yeah. So
I don't know how he builds that fast.
Man, some people are just good. Some people are just really good at like strategy, like real time strategy games. Like they're just dialed in.
Tanks, and I'm like still trying to like build the first couple walls of my base.
I'm a late bloomer. I'm like towards late game. I'm like now all of a sudden I've got like 100 cannons. But like early game, I'm like someone sends like 3 horses into my base. I'm like I need help.
Yeah, boned.
Yeah, pwned. So. Yeah, I mean, it would be really cool to get a game like that, but guess we'll see. It's not actually, as of Game Awards, no Star Wars game exists still with that level of strategy involved.
Yeah, but at least we're getting some Star Wars games this year.
Yeah, we are, yeah. We got Zero Company.
I am so looking forward to that. I'm going to have to get you to help build a PC for me, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've done a few over the years, so yeah, it should be good. Rip on the price of RAM these days, though. You can thank AI for that. But yeah, RAM is insane. It's like it's gone up like 6 to 8 times since it was like 3 years ago.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. It's brutal.
It was
it's
bad
nuts.
then because people were trying to get Bitcoin.
It's nuts. It's like it's crazy. So anyway, I feel sorry for any poor soul that needs to buy like like even 2 sticks of RAM. Because it's pretty gnarly, but okay. I just got one more thing. I don't know before we wrap it up or or whatever. But I know I don't know if we talked about this before, but Rian Johnson's trilogy is officially not happening.
What do you mean by that? It was announced somewhere?
Oh, it was announced like eons ago that Kathleen Kennedy, right after Last Jedi came out, like it was like a thing. You remember that?
I do. I'm pretty sure we talked about it like a month and a half ago, I want to say.
Yeah, I feel like we did, but I don't know. What do you think of that? Like Rian Johnson, he was planning on doing more Star Wars movies, and now it's just permanently been grounded now.
Yeah. Because I do enjoy a lot of his other films.
He completed his Knives Out trilogy on Netflix most recently with Dead Man,
those movies are great.
Wake Up Dead Man. Yeah,
I like those movies a lot. So I would say, I think he maybe misunderstands, from my opinion, the Force a little bit. But I would enjoy to watch a movie by him that had nothing to do with Jedi.
I like his movies when he's not interfering with other people's IP.
Yeah.
Like he's got a great visual language. He has a great mind for cinematography and everything.
Oh yeah.
There's so many great things. I think he'd make a better producer than he would an actual director, but I'm not either, so take that with a grain of salt.
Fair.
But yeah, his work's amazing. I just wish he'd be more like Tarantino and stick to his own things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, like I always liked the idea of seeing his potential, but again, it is hard to, and this is where my gripe is with just the overall planning, the structure of the sequels, intending each film to be done by a different director. I always thought was a bad idea. I always thought, like, if you're doing a trilogy, it's got to be a unified vision. One guy's got to do it. And it made me nervous, like having 3 different people. And sure enough, it's like, okay, the third one's not working out. Let's go back to the guy who did the first one. And it's like, it's just a mess. And it's like, okay, you set it up, and then the second guy, you pass the torch. The second guy did his job. Like he wrote his story. It was approved. He did the movie. It made a bunch of money. The job was done, right? And the fans were not happy. And it's like, well, but he did the job, And it's like, I would love to see what he does with his characters, like with his own creation. His character, the only character he made for that movie was Rose Tico.
I would say in Star Wars, or just mean
just in Star Wars. In Star Wars, because his other movies are great. I love his. I mean, like murder mystery things aren't typically my usual thing, but like they're all great movies, like the Glass Onion and Knives Out, and really great films, great cast.
Yeah, I liked Looper too.
Looper was awesome. Yeah, Looper's a great movie. I mean, like I feel like he's done like maybe 1 or 2 others that I've seen, but yeah, he's a good filmmaker. It's like from a structuring a story, coming up with interesting characters, a good script that doesn't feel awkward, like. But then I don't know what it was about Star Wars Episode 8. It's like at moments it's too goofy. At moments it's just it doesn't feel right.
It kind of feels like that movie was petty.
Petty, yeah.
Like I don't like what you did with the first movie.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I would love to see what he's able to do on his own over here in this little pocket area where he can't really mess up other people's like plans, because like, I mean, I'm not the biggest J.J. Abrams guy, but like, I mean, clearly he was planning something that he didn't get to follow up on, but he got to follow up on later, but he had to still tie it into the previous follow-up. You know what I mean? It's like, that's really hard for any kind of storyteller to do. It's like running a D&D campaign, passing off D&D to one other guy for 1 week, and then having to hop back in and go, okay, where'd you guys leave off? What? Yeah,
I've done that, and it can work.
It can, but you got to be kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? And I just think, like, as a lot of us Star Wars fans goes, like, we're not typically okay with that. Like, we want structure and continuity and a lot of these things that
and a good twist.
Well, I mean, but there's some cool moments in his movie that, like, I loved that Rey and Kylo Ren do. I know the choreography makes no sense, but like it was cool, man. Like, I mean, there was
really nice.
It looked amazing, and there was some cool like shots, like directorial wise, in a movie where you're working with a lot of CG. It was shot really well. There was a lot of interesting environments that he came up with, like a planet full of salt. I know it sounds kind of lame, but it was new.
No, that's a great.
It was a cool, with like the orange.
It's not snow.
It looked cool.
It's salt.
Yes,
and with what a brilliant.
It was great. Yeah,
those movies in some ways are like heavy metal album covers. They are so beautiful. Somebody really understood like color theory and light structures, and like I love the visuals of those movies.
Oh yeah,
they're so great.
And huge credit to the art department too, and Doug Chang and the crew over there working in art department, because they come up with a lot of these concepts too. But yeah, carry on.
But well, like there's a reason those movies have been split into music videos for people like fans just making movie or music video after music video out of imagery from them. They are really well shot. It's the storyline that fails them.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, that being said, I think he would have been a really great candidate to work with. And he also probably had a good working relationship with the producers, you know, with Kathleen Kennedy and people up top, right? And that also really helps from a business point of view. But yeah, I think I would have really liked to have seen that. And then you go to a guy like James Mangold, and it's like he's still on the list. So like his thing has not been canned just yet. But they've invented a whole new era in the canon for him to operate in, which is the Dawn of the Jedi period. And it's so far away from like anything that's been done so far that it's like, what could he really break? You know what I mean? But then when I go back and there's still a lot because it's the start of everything. I'm like, okay, I mean, you better, you know, there's going to be a lot of expectations going into a movie like that.
Okay, say you can't stop that movie from being made. Like you just, they've started it. Who do you want to see direct it?
Oh man, I mean, okay, let me just say this. The comic was not what I expected. And when we read it, it was like, it is interesting, but I would not want that made into a movie.
No.
And then the other thing is, when it comes to James Mangold, I love a movie like Logan, but as an ending to a superhero universe that a lot of us have grown up with and really appreciate over the years, it was a very depressing and sad ending. And as a director who's getting this story started from a chronological point of view, I just don't know if he'd be the right guy to like have enough itch to really scratch that distant connection that maybe some of us are hoping to get as a sort of a far distant prequel to the Skywalker saga being the meat and potatoes of the story. I don't know if he's the guy to really tell a Star Wars story that would make those connections.
Okay, I could make a pitch that I think you would dig. I think he should write, or maybe not write, but direct a Sith storyline like that Japanese one from Visions. If you got a Sith hunter that was a Sith, wouldn't he do an awesome job of that? Because you get your character death at the end that's meaningful.
Yeah, I think if he was to do a Star Wars movie, he would probably make a really dang good movie. I just don't know if he's the guy to be the one to kick things off.
No, but I don't want that story to be made at all, because it's better not knowing that story, that it's just something older than time. It's like the aliens problem. When you tell us the story,
how they made the aliens,
and
it takes the magic away.
You know, exactly. Something that's beyond ancient that has wiped out planets is way scarier than, hey, we accidentally made this biological terror.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Midichlorians.
It's
exactly. Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that I can see, like, yeah, because in that way, it's Star Wars is different than the Marvel universe, where it's like not every origin story and every like inch of the universe needs to be told, you know. And like in a movie like Eternals, did you guys watch Eternals?
Yeah,
I think
so. Like Eternals was not held very highly regarded by fans. Like it didn't really do well in the box office. It also doesn't have really great reviews. That being said, there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in the movie, and it takes place over a massive period of time. A good chunk of the movie takes place in like basically like human culture, like developing on Earth, and then it kind of goes into the modern day. But there was some cool stuff that's like happened back then, and I was like, well, that's really sweet, like set up for much later. And then when they flash forward to much later and they're all like still the same age because they're not quite human, and you know, and living in the modern world is like, I don't know how much I buy this, but at the same time I was like, I really like those moments in the past. And I guess with Star Wars, like there is kind of this fantastical element where like it is almost, you know, generally widely considered by a lot of fans. They don't want to know what happened before. They don't want to know the context, especially with the whole like, I don't like midichlorians thing, that a lot of fans have a problem with that. A lot of problems with knowing, you know, Yoda's position and like race and things like, you know, there's a lot of like questions in the air that are like, I don't want to know it. Right. So with an era like Dawn of the Jedi, it's like, what kind of story are we telling? Are we telling a story about the first Jedi, like the Prime Jedi? I know that was kind of thrown out there as like a possible plot line. Are we talking about a story that happens in that same period, but a little later, where maybe it's like a couple hundred years later and they're kind of still first developed, but not too far in, and this is where like the Sith kind of become a thing. Maybe
Yeah,
that's where we see that movie.
I'd be more interested, I think, of seeing the first Jedi that fall from the Order and found the Sith.
Yeah, like I wonder, because that could be really interesting, because it could be really different. Like, I mean, this like anything, like things evolve, right? And it would be interesting to see that very basic narrative storytelling of like going back to this person no longer wants to follow the Jedi because they are being selfish, you know, like, it's like back to those roots.
They disagree with something, kind of like basically the Anakin story, really, at the end of the day. But
yeah, and like you know, going back to the principles of like
bad things for a just cause. And then slippery slope.
Yeah, for sure. And to see maybe the Jedi Code isn't really what we know it to be, right? Like maybe this is kind of, you know, pre-10 Commandments in the Star Wars universe. Like we're given an order that doesn't yet have their rules about relationships, about certain attachments, things like that, right? And I wonder if like that could be an interesting story to see. I just don't know if I want to see the story of the singular first Prime Jedi being told, you know, because that could be kind of weird.
I think there's more fruit to bear on the storyline of the Sith, because it's a tumultuous story where it's so shrouded in mystery. No matter what you do, it all eventually just goes into the ether and you don't know that story. I think that's what a lot of fans have problems with both the sequel and prequel trilogies of, I know where this is going now, and now you can't tell stories in between. Like you knew that Anakin's going to turn into Vader, so you never fully get emotionally invested into Anakin. Right. You know, like everyone.
Though you're talking to two millennials.
I'm a millennial too.
Sorry,
he's on the later side of the millennial. Yeah. No,
you know what I'm getting at. Though. Like,
I know you grew up with Anakin.
So I found out that Anakin turns into Vader after Phantom Menace came out.
Yeah, it is different for you guys, but like how many guys around your age do you, or I shouldn't say guys, how many people around your age do you know that don't like the prequels? How many people around my age do you know that hate the prequels?
Right.
Dan.
I know a lot.
I didn't mean call them out. I just mean like generally speaking, that's the stereotype.
Can we go back and
let's name the names.
Beep it out.
Nah, Dan would laugh at that if you heard it.
But
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because there's a lot more people on the fence in our like generation or era.
Yeah, you not knowing that Palpatine was the Emperor and that Anakin was going to turn into Vader, I'm sure that story was much deeper for you. Us knowing that that's where those two.
That's always the issue with prequels in general, though. But yeah.
And now that we've had the sequel trilogy and it's so close to the timeline of Return of the Jedi, it's like, man, I love The Mandalorian and all these series that are coming out on that time, but you've got that just overbearing, it's going to end soon.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
that's always the issue of not telling something in a chronological order.
Yes. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the content we're getting. I'm not trying to be disparaging. It's just, I get why people bump up against it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I also think another thing to consider is pretty much every Star Wars story that's ever existed has this underlying foundation based on good versus evil. And having a first Prime Jedi focused film about the first Jedi ever sounds like an interesting idea, but it's not interesting as like right when you throw in that initial idea that, when this becomes a thing, there is going to inevitably be someone that disagrees and becomes the villain almost right away. And that from the EU, we don't know that. We don't recognize that to be a thing until kind of later.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, first thing that comes to mind is like the first Iron Man movie, but I'm not sure how well that would translate.
Yeah, and just, but again, it's like, and there's.
Because that's a great movie.
I mean,
I really love the first
and like
Iron Man
you can do it. It's not saying like it's not like it can't be done. But I just think like if that was to be a thing within Star Wars and like somebody becomes the first Jedi and within the same movie, like you have somebody betraying them and becoming the villain of what becomes like a trilogy of events or something like that. Assuming that it's a one and done movie, I don't know if it's like I don't know if it would feel too rushed. I think like to have like that origin plus the fracturing and the beginning of the Sith versus the Jedi situation thing. You know, I don't know if I'd be down for that.
That would be a huge amount of time. It was supposed to be Grey Jedi for a long time before Sith ever show up.
I would love a Dawn of the Jedi era film where like we do see that the Sith, like the Brotherhood, kind of becomes a thing, and you know you see maybe like an XR Kun style story. Like that would be like That'd be cool because that's still Dawn of the Jedi period. That's not Old Republic, and there's no in between in the canon timeline. They've just done Dawn of the Jedi, Old Republic, High Republic, Fall of the Jedi. So that's like
that's supposed to be thousands of years, right?
Yeah, about over. Oh yeah, because Old Republic is 1,000 years, and then Dawn of the Jedi is before that. So it's like we're talking like over probably 1,500 to 2,000 years, something like that. But yeah, I think that would be a cool idea, like Dawn of the Jedi film, and you just kind of jump like most Star Wars movies. You jump into the action. Having seen any Star Wars movie at all, you kind of have a sense of who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, maybe who the Sith are, and who the Jedi are. And that's all you really need. And going into this movie, it's like, okay, the
issue always just comes down to Disney doesn't want villains to be the main characters.
Well, they wouldn't be. It would just be an element of the film, right? Like it would be like an element of any kind of Marvel movie that you watch. Like there's like the good guys and the bad guys, and there's a good versus evil dynamic there. But usually it's set up within the same film. And with one of the more bigger event movies, there's some kind of underlying context in the previous films to kind of lead up to that hype. And I don't know if necessarily the point in time in which you have two big things happen, which is this divergence of Sith and Jedi and the beginnings of all of it. I don't know if it's like long enough of a story that you'd be able to really successfully tell it, you know?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I'd be okay just skipping the origin that a lot of people would probably have problems with, just getting right into the action. You have the opening crawl, and then you just jump into the situation of there's some conflict brewing within the Jedi Order, and this guy named Exar Kun is a guy, you know, that just kind of has these problems, and, you know, so on and so forth. So
just give us the Mandalorian Wars.
Yeah, The Mandalorian that would be a sweet movie too. Nice trilogy of films.
Would his name just be Arcoon, and then when he leaves the Order becomes Exar-Kun?
I wonder how many people are laughing at that right now. All right, we should probably wrap things up here. What are you guys looking forward to this year? Your number one looking forward to, Mo.
We just did this last episode.
Oh, did we? Okay, well, we'll do it again. Darian, what are you looking forward to this year?
Go to your number two. I'm going to go with Mandalorian and Grogu.
Number two, Mandalorian and Grogu.
I'm pretty sure I said Starfighter last time.
That's not this year though.
Was that 2 years out?
That's next year now.
Oh,
so
okay.
2027. Yeah.
I feel like the announcement's so recent and just kind of bombed all together.
Got Shadow Lord.
I believe they said they were done filming.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're done filming. Yeah. So it's all in post now.
2 years of post.
Yep. Well, a year and a half, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Doesn't know. Smacking his lips over there.
This new RTS
went into his mind palace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zero Company.
No. They said this one we talked about today.
Oh, actually, Total War. Well, Total War is a rumor.
I'm probably more interested in the one we actually talked about recently by the French studio.
Oh yeah. Well, I assume Eclipse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eclipse,
assuming we hear some.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll come out this year, but I hope we hear more from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it's still happening.
It is. So yeah, I do hope we hear more from that. That game. Those games were awesome. Detroit was fantastic. But Maul. Yeah, Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about it. That's the problem. Just because I feel like Maul's storyline has drug on for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like he just gets used to plug holes a lot. And I really kind of want something. I don't know. I feel like I would be more interested in an animated series about a new character.
You haven't learned anything.
All right, guys.
How about you, Josh? Come on, you can't skip past yourself.
100% Maul Shadow Lord. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm a sucker for the animated shows, but Mandalorian Grogu. I mean, I love the idea of seeing more of that, but Shadow Lord, I think it's the hole that needs to be filled for me with Maul and his storyline, and I'm stoked for that. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you.
I have spoken.
See you out there. Keep flying.
All right, may the Force be with all of you out there. Have a happy new year, and we will see you in many more episodes of Star Wars Escape Pod. Check out those links in the description, as mentioned before. See you in the next one.